Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Paranormal State. This is a docu-series, reality series of a sense. I hesitate to call things like this docu-series, only because that lends a level of science, like factual research to it. I don't want to disparage the work these people are doing. It at the very least, it's entertainment. It is entertainment. It's looking into the strange and unnatural and the things that are unexplained, and that makes total sense to want to understand that better. And it makes sense to make a TV series about it where people explore such things and hopefully give other people who are curious answers to the things they're experiencing, and also to maybe give them peace. If nothing else, it hopefully gives them peace. Now, on the other end, this is a reality show to a certain degree. And if you've heard me ever talk about reality shows at all on any of my episodes, I hate them. I hate them so much because I've known people who've been in reality shows. I'm not going to go into the whole detail of this, but I know enough people who've been in reality shows. I know how they're made. I know how they are not real, for the most part. Yeah, if people on American Idol or the Now You Think You Can Dance or whatever, that kind of stuff, there are genuinely talented people that are being judged by Simon Cowell or whoever, Paula Abdul and Randy Jackson and everybody else that's taken their place since. In all those shows, those are absolutely real people being observed and judged for their talent. And they challenge each other. That stuff that is real. It is reality show, but for the most part, it is absolutely a real experience for those involved and for us watching it, because we got to vote on those things. And whether or not that's that happened, that it has been played with or not, whether it's rigged, I have no idea, nor do I care. In this, though, we're dealing with the paranormal, with unexplained phenomena, whether it's haunted houses or in this first episode of the 6th season. Yeah, there's only this 6th season on here. There's 8 episodes in the 6th season. Where are all the other ones? I don't know. And each of these episodes are about 22 minutes each. They were meant to be 30 minutes, with commercials, but in this, we get to see the Paranormal Research Society. And by the way, the reason why they call this, one of the things I find the most clever is, or the reason why they call this Paranormal State, is because it sounds, I guess, a little bit like Penn State, and it takes place mostly in Pennsylvania, which I know very well. It's an area I know very, very well. If I had just been dropped into watching an episode, this first episode, and by the way, this is from 2011. I don't know if the whole series started in 2000. No, it started in 2007, but the 6th season is 2011. So even if you had told me, let's say, hey, just watch this, no explanation, I would have told you that this is taking place in Pennsylvania. Just the way the houses look, the way, it's winter time. It's kind of, it's a little snowy here. The tree, all the leaves are off the trees. I know it's not LA. I know it's not Florida. It is 100% Pennsylvania. Just geography, architecture, hairstyles, and fashion. It's just, trust me, I know Pennsylvania quite well. So yeah, what we get here is a number of people led by, his name is, where is he? Come on. Where are you? Ryan Buell. Ryan Buell and his team, to do the normal thing. They set up microphones and cameras, and half of this episode is when it's not having a conversation about people's experiences and trying to play counselor to a certain degree. It's most of it is all shot in night vision, green night vision. That's when you know things are going down. When the camera is in green mode, you know that something's going to happen thanks to editing. Because I know that when it comes to stuff like this, it's a lot of waiting around and none of it's exciting. Most of the time. There's times I'm sure these people hear something and they're like, oh God, what was that? Did you hear that? And that's what most of the interactions are. Oh, did you hear that? It sounds like singing. Oh, there's banging. Nobody actually sees anything. People hear things, but nobody else hears these things. And by the way, in this first episode, they live relatively close to railroad tracks. Yeah. I've stayed in houses very close to railroad tracks. I had an uncle who lived literally, his house was right next to a railroad track. A friend of mine down the street lives literally a couple feet away from a railroad track. And do you know how much that can upset the things in your house? Even at a distance. Just a little bit of a rumble here or there. It can make it seem like things are moving. And I have friends who swear they have ghosts in their house. Cool. I've never seen it. I've never experienced it. I have no proof of that. Maybe they don't want to know me. I don't know. And I'm not saying I have no proof one way or the other whether these things are real or not. If things are imagined or exaggerated, or it's an emotional thing for a number of people, I get that. I get that. There's certain things manifest in our heads in certain ways. And I'm not saying these people are lying. I can't say that they're making stuff up to appear on television or to make a show about these things. But most of it is Ryan trying to understand the situation. He summarizes the situation. He has in-depth conversations with these people about what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what the origins of. They bring in a psychic who can touch objects and go, oh, there's a small child that she's upset. Something happened. Yeah, you can do that. It can be so manufactured. And that's because it can be, even though it may not be, because it can be, it gives me tremendous amounts of doubt as to whether these things are real or not. Now, that's not the point. That's not the case when it comes to these kind of things. We've had another supernatural, like a ghost hunter type show not too long ago that we watched, and I pretty much gave the same speech for the most part. I'm just saying that I'm not exactly asking for a visitation or like, oh, I need some proof. I've been times when I thought I saw stuff. I know there's times when I thought I got freaked out. I had a friend who, we lived in the country in Pennsylvania, and at one point he saw a glowing ball of light floating through his yard. What is that? Was that a ghost? Was it ball lightning? Was it a dream he had? I don't know. For me, sometimes I was afraid to go down in the basement. I've lived in the basement half my life, but there's a time I didn't, and it was dark, and it was cold, and it had weird noises, and yes, it plays with your mind. And so what I was saying, it's not all about all that. It's about whether this is entertaining or not, whether it's informative or not, and whether it inspires people to seek help in this way, in some way, to help deal with the issues they're experiencing. This one woman, Kimmy, also apparently has this connection with a ghost in her house, also named Kimmy. And it's a house they moved into in 2007, and the other Kimmy died in in a pretty brutal way. In fact, the first sentence that comes out of somebody's mouth, I think Ryan's mouth, in the beginning of the episode, is the last thing you ever want to hear on Disney Plus. It's, it's unsettling. And it's just like, oh, what is this? Now I know what this episode's about. And yeah, but it's it's a true tragic story. I'm not belittling that by any means. And honestly, if I was a person who knew Kimmy, I would want closure in any way possible, that I would be able to sleep at night. Because one, I'd be angry. I'd be so absolutely sad and depressed that somebody I loved and cared for was harmed in such a way. And does this kind of thing help people that they're actually talking with? I hope so. I mean, I don't want people to be deluded into finding closure, but if you can find things that can give you peace and harms you no further, then go for it. Will this give people peace and maybe better understanding of the unknown by watching this? Maybe. Maybe this might give people the wrong idea in some ways, that this is somehow something we fully understand. And just because we don't fully understand it doesn't mean that we shouldn't also examine such things, because that's what science and discovery and everything else is about. But as long as you can do something that's scientific, not just go, what was that? What I heard a noise. No, you can't do that 15 times in a 22-minute episode and go, oh, we found a ghost. Or had a person just walk into a room, touching things and going, oh, there's somebody sad here. No. I'm going to tell you this right now. As much as I love the X-Men and all sorts of supernatural stuff and science fiction and things like that, psychics aren't real. I'm going to tell you right now. It's just somebody telling your future, reading your past. They're making money. And they shouldn't be. They're not real, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that's a little bit blunt, but yeah, they're ripping you off. They might be really good at it, but psychics aren't real until I see something otherwise. Yeah, there's all sorts of illusionists and magicians and things like that who can, is this your card? Or do all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's fantastic stuff. And if you could do it low key and not have to do the flamboyant stuff that some of these like magicians do, or I can read your mind. Do you know somebody named Becky? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I know Becky, yeah. Do you have a friend whose name begins with a J? Jim? Oh, yeah, I know Jim. Oh, well, Jim is talking to you right now. He's still alive. Okay, he's not talking to you right now. Like, this kind of stuff. Yeah. I know, I've gone down a rabbit hole, which, again, tends to happen when we're dealing with the unknown and our emotions that are connected to this stuff. Not fact. Not reality, not something provable. And that becomes difficult. Because a lot of times we do reach out for things that we can get a hold on that will make us feel better. And that's okay, as long as we don't do anything that makes it worse. I don't think these guys are doing anything that makes it worse. I just watched one episode. I think the intent is to make a TV show that is carefully edited or not, and in exciting cutaway scenes that smashes black to commercial and comes back with the same scene again, but not as intense as before. Like, the one shot was like, did you hear that? Oh my gosh. And there's a bleeped swear word, and suddenly somebody shouts, somebody on the team screams, ah! And they smash to black where the commercial would normally go. And it's not there when they come back. And, oh, is it because they tripped over a cable or something? They're not being attacked. Kimmy's not coming back and there's nobody crawling out of the TV. And you wouldn't want that anyway. I can't find personally. I can't find entertainment in a bunch of people just walking around a dark room going, "Are you there, Kimmy? Are you there, Joe? Hey, Ralph, just say something. Let us know you're here." How many episodes can you do that with? Everybody's got their story, but yeah. What are you going to do? So, can I recommend it? Not really. But again, if this is your thing, if this is your jam, this is the kind of thing that you're just like, oh man, this is so spooky me. I got goosebumps myself a little bit. I have to admit. It has an entertainment value to it. Is it real? I don't think so. I don't know. And do they think it's real? I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that either way. I mean, they did how many seasons on this? At least 6. And hopefully they did all right with it, made a living with it. That's the best you can ask for. And hopefully they helped some people, even if they never saw a single ghost or talked to a single ghost, hopefully they gave certain people a measure of peace. And that is honestly the most important part of it to me. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I spent a lot longer than I expected to. This is almost as long as an actual episode. But tomorrow, we're going to be watching something very different or much shorter, an actual real short. This is a Descendants Halloween story. Yes. I forget what the title of it is. Dang it. But it's a Descendants Halloween story short. That's what we're watching. It's brand new to Disney Plus. So, whatever it's called, a Descendants Halloween story. And the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.